Hi there, and welcome to the first video in the Middle School Money Matters series. I'm your host, Mr. G. What is money? You may have heard a lot about money in the past. Maybe your parents have talked about it. Maybe you have an allowance that you get to go out and spend. But whether you think of money as coins or cash or something else entirely, I'm sure you've seen something like a banking commercial on TV or a car commercial that talks about payments or low interest rates. It's all around us. You may have gone to the grocery store with your parent and seen lots of products on the shelves with prices underneath them. Why does one bag of chips cost a different amount than another bag of chips? What is money? Well, economists generally agree that money has three functions in our society. It is a store of value, a medium of exchange, and a unit of account. Let me explain.
A store of value. This basically means that money has worth. Now, in the past, things like gold and silver and other precious metals and even salt were used as currency because they had value in and of themselves. They had inherent value. They were useful. This was called commodity currency. But things like gold and salt were cumbersome. They were hard to use and they were in limited supply. And so this gave way to other forms of currency, such as coins and the paper money we use today. Now initially coins were made of precious metals, and so they had inherent value. People would take gold coins and cut them in half or cut them in quarters and use them to purchase things. But eventually this gave way to the paper currency or plastic currency that we know today. This is called a fiat currency. A fiat currency, nothing to do with the car, is a currency that's backed by a government. The paper or plastic that we print our money on isn't really worth anything. The money doesn't have any inherent value. It's only valuable because the government backs it and because we as a population believe in the currency. Government control and backing of the currencies we have today is what has led to our current monetary system. Without that government backing, it wouldn't lead to the public belief that the money we have is worth what it is. Money only has value because people believe it does. Think about something like Bitcoin and the new cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is simply a collection of computer code. The only reason Bitcoin has any value is because enough people have agreed that it does. We use the same paper or plastic here in Canada to print our money on, regardless of the denomination. The only reason that a piece of plastic that's brown with a 1 and 2 zeros on it is worth more than a piece of plastic that's blue with a 5 on it is because we believe it to be so. So something like the store of value really comes down to public belief and confidence. And we are confident that that value in the currency will remain stored, that it will still be there to use tomorrow or next week. That's the key with the store of value. It doesn't disappear after a day. If you were to get paid in peaches, after a few weeks the peaches would rot and then they'd be worth nothing. The store of value. Next, money is a medium of exchange. What does this mean? It means that you can take money and you can exchange it for goods or services. Think about this. Before money existed, say you raised goats, that was your job, and you had a lot of them. But what you really wanted was some corn. What you would have to do is you would have to traipse around looking for somebody who had corn, and not only had corn, but was willing to give you some of their corn in exchange for some of your goats, because that's all that you have. This became very cumbersome. So what money did is it allowed you to take your goat and sell it to somebody else for some money, and then take that money and go and buy some corn. It eliminated the necessity for what is called the double coincidence of wants, that you have something that somebody else wants and they have what you want at the same time. Now you can simply go with your money, and once you've negotiated a price, you can buy what you want, and then that person can then take the money you've paid them and go and buy what they want. And the money kind of goes around in a circle. Finally, money is a unit of account. And that means it's sort of a measuring stick. It's something that you can use to measure the value of other things to determine whether one thing is worth more than something else. You could say, hey, that chocolate bar is worth $1. It probably costs, a little under $1 to produce and deliver to the store. The store makes a little bit of profit on the deal, but in general, they sell it for $1, it's worth $1. Now you're not gonna pay $1 for an automobile because the production cost and the materials are much higher than that. So it's going to take a lot more dollars. The unit of account means we use the dollar as a measuring stick to measure the worth and value of goods and services. This is why in our modern capitalist societies, they all have their own currency. Whether it's called the euro or the peso or the yen, they all function in pretty much the same way. They all act as a medium of exchange. You can exchange that currency for something that you want to buy. They all store value. You can take that currency and hold on to it and still buy that chocolate bar next week. And they all act as a unit of account, a measuring stick, so we can determine how much to charge for that chocolate bar.
I hope you all enjoyed this first installment of the Middle School Money Matters Financial Literacy video series. Stay tuned and subscribe for more.